It's time for The Local with your host and realtor, Katie McKinney.
Hey guys, it's Katie, your real estate professional, and today on the podcast, I have Chase here. Chase, thanks for being here.
It's an honor to be here with you.
So Chase is the owner and operator and cook, chef, a little bit of everything here in Woodward. Chase's Barbecue and Steaks, Steakhouse, Chase's Steakhouse. He also had Chase's Barbecue Shack, which is still open and operating. They're off of Texas and 8th Street.
That's correct.
He recently moved to the Elks Lodge, where he opened Chase's Steakhouse, and I have been there. It is absolutely amazing. You should check it out if you haven't already. But thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
He's super busy, so we squeezed it in somehow. So obviously, I know a little bit about your history, but where are you from, and how did you get here?
Originally, I'm from Amarillo, Texas. I actually started in healthcare.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a respiratory therapist for 15 years.
Wow.
And one of the things I did contracts for hospitals all over the nation. So
wow.
I did that for a long time, and I actually bought some land not far from here, and we would still travel most of the year. Then we'd come back and visit and take some time, and then that turned into us putting roots down here and working at the hospital here, and that's how we got to Woodward.
Wow, that's really neat. And tell us a little bit about your family.
It's just a small little family. It's my wife, and got a daughter, Gracie, that a lot of you probably know. She's a handful for sure. She'll be 10 next month, and she takes most of my energy as well. So.
I bet so. That's super neat. And happy you set your roots here. Why did you choose Woodward to?
We just, sometimes I feel like you get chosen.
Yes, yeah.
I think we may not ever know, right. At least maybe until later on why we ended up here.
Yes.
But yeah, we ended up here, and we're glad we did.
Awesome.
It's been a great time for us.
Awesome. So how did you get specifically in the restaurant industry? Obviously healthcare, and then it's a pretty drastic switch to restaurant food industry. How did you make that switch?
Oh, honestly, my brother and I would do barbecue competitions.
Okay.
And we started doing those and having some success, and that kind of turned into catering on the side, and that grew a little bit bigger than we expected it to.
Yes.
We had to move to town for our daughter's sake. She needs some extra medical services. Mm-hmm. So I told my wife at the time, hey, if we're moving to town, I'm going to finally jump into this, and let's just see what happens. Because after 15 years in healthcare, I was ready for a change.
Yeah, of course.
And and that's what I did. I really did just jump in.
Complete change.
Burn the boats. So
we're going all in.
It was all in for sure.
Yeah, the barbecue competitions are pretty fitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you still do any of those? You're
I,
so busy.
I do
you
not
don't have
the
time.
time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you were in them, you would win because
very nice.
It's pretty good. Not just pretty good food, really good food, especially the barbecue. So, obviously, is there anything specifically other than just a time in your career change or whatever? Is there something that inspired you about food, or maybe being a business owner or something like that?
Well, honestly, it was kind of just that slow transition. It was a few years of doing the competitions, and then the success, like I said, the success of that turned into catering. And we're like, hey, what if we did this? Yeah. And we did, and it's a scary jump. To leave a steady job, a steady paycheck,
yes,
and something you've done for so long into just new horizons.
Yeah.
I'd never owned a business. I had never really didn't even have anyone to speak with,
right,
to kind of pick their brain on it. And so kind of just been making it up as I go for the last about 6 years. And we've really been fortunate.
Awesome. And a little bit, did you have a degree in business or Anything like that?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Well, but you're like me. My degree's in secondary English education. It's completely separate.
Right.
But either way, I feel like with business, a business degree, I'm sure it would help. It would have helped a lot, probably. But you kind of learn it a little bit trial and error as well, or from mentors or other professionals. So that makes sense. That transition sometimes is tricky, but what is that term? Sink or swim?
It was a lot of doggy paddling. Lots of doggy paddling.
Lots of dog. Yeah, I love that. Can't swim very well either, so I mean it helps. I know that well. What are a few common misconceptions about the restaurant or food industry?
I'll tell you this, and I did have a few people tell me before I got into it. They're like, "It is hard work,
yes,
and lots of it," and that couldn't be more spot on.
Right.
It's the labor and the hours involved, most people just wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And then if you get really smart, you run 2 restaurants at the same time and really try and challenge yourself. So
if you don't need sleep, you mean?
Right.
Yeah. If you want to work 24/7, that's what you do.
We'll get sleep later on down the road.
That's awesome. And is there another misconception about kind of starting into the business? How a lot of people think they can just start and it be super low overhead costs. And I know that's the case in some ways, but a lot of times, is there kind of a common misconception that you can start out pretty slow, or because if you think about food, the different things that are equipment, and then a building, if you have the building costs associated, do you feel like that's a common misconception?
I believe it is. You don't really understand how much the food costs to just get the raw ingredients, prepare them, and serve them to the public. It's really expensive, and especially when you're starting out, those initial orders to even get open are just huge. Yeah. So you can't really ease into it. You've got to go kind of all in, 100 miles an hour.
Right.
But not just the food costs. It's the overhead, it's the equipment, any kind of training or services that you need just to get off the ground. And of course, there's no shortage of permits that you're paying for the state or things like that just to operate.
Yes, I'm sure. Do you feel like that has contributed a little bit, or maybe a lot of it, to the food truck industry?
I think the food truck industry is a wonderful industry. I think that, you've got everything you need in a small space, keeps the overhead mostly reasonable. I know there seems to be a lot of success in the bigger cities with it.
Right.
And I think that's because they have devoted plazas to it.
Yes,
and
have events. And
I think the consistency is what people are looking for.
Right.
If you're, guys, if you're out there doing this, listen to me. If you're not in the same spot and people don't know how to find you, you're just putting yourself out of business.
Right. Especially social media, if you're not using that. Because I know in larger areas, they'll, put on Facebook or wherever, hey, today we're going to be outside of this building. And then the employees of that building or that area, then they know where to go. They know you're right there. And I feel like, Chase has over 10,000 likes on his barbecue shack page, which has been obviously there for a while. How many years you think?
We're in our 6th year with that.
Okay, so 6 years, 10,000 plus. There's probably more than that.
I think it's between 14 and 15,000.
Oh, I shortchanged you. Sorry.
Okay. But
I just knew there was a lot.
Right.
It's probably one of the most liked pages on social media in Woodward. I know there's, the Woodward News and different ones like that, but that's quite a few likes on the social media. So it's really neat that you have that many people that are dedicated and following you. And then on the Steakhouse, that is also growing very, very quickly. So I think it's just really neat because not every restaurant owner or food industry professional uses social media, but you do that very, very well. So I commend you on that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And you might not believe it, but I had never used Facebook in my entire life until I opened the business.
Yes.
So no lie.
Yeah. So you weren't as maybe pro technology, social media until you opened a business.
I'm pretty lacking in technology still, but I've had some great guidance.
Yes.
My wife's a teacher. She's good at those kind of things.
Yeah.
So that's helped quite a bit.
That does help. That helps a lot to have a teammate there. So how do you've got, speaking of team, you've got a lot of great people, employees, maybe partners, your wife being one of them, obviously, in all of these businesses, or the two main businesses we're talking about today. How do you effectively manage a team like that, that amount of employees and, they're doing so many different tasks? How do you manage to operate that, though? I know it's difficult.
It is difficult. It's actually one of the toughest things that you'll encounter if you're doing anything that requires more than one or two employees. It
Right.
gets challenging quite quickly.
Yeah.
So one of the things is to you can't be a boss. I mean, there's part of that, but you need to lead. If somebody sees you working just as hard as them, doing just as many dishes as they're doing, and I'm always trying to do it faster than the next guy. To like
competition, yeah.
Absolutely. They see, hey, man, that guy's just like me. I want to follow what he's doing.
Yeah.
So it's about leading and not bossing.
Yes.
And I think that's it. And when you truly do care about your employees, I think it makes it even easier because, look, these guys, like, we're just a small family business. We really are. They really become part of our family.
Yeah.
And so there's a very tight-knit crew that we have and develop, and it's becoming like that at the Steakhouse now, even for all our new additions. And we've got some just amazing people out there. So
it's about the people.
It really is.
Yeah, it's about the people.
Without the people, and if you don't genuinely care about your employees, it's very, they know.
Yeah.
Like, so you either start caring or maybe change what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. And leading by example is huge. And I think that's in every business, every industry. If you aren't being that example, then how are they supposed to know what to do and how to carry themselves? And I know, starting a new addition to your business and business model as well, I'm sure is challenging, but I think you're a really great leader. So that helps a lot. And that does. So obviously we know the Steakhouse has been opened. What are a few things that you have recently or plan to add to that business?
We actually have really several neat ideas. I don't know if I'm ready to let those ideas out of the bag just yet because I want to go a little bit longer, and then I'll start releasing some of these things.
Yes.
We're going to be doing a few things that Woodward has not experienced yet, but I promise you, just stay tuned, and
we'll have him on again, guys.
Yeah, and follow us, and I promise you'll keep up with us.
Follow you on social media,
absolutely,
and that sort of thing.
Our main presence is on Facebook. We're a little bit on Instagram, but
Facebook is mostly.
Just keep up with us. One of the things that we do differently already is. We have, unique menu items.
Yes.
We're just us. We don't try to copy other people. Our chicken, we have bacon wrapped chicken. Even that is like twice the portion of any other restaurant serves.
Right.
For pretty much the same price. And that, to go back to one of the things that we believe in, we know how hard everybody works for their money.
Yeah.
And it's, I would be embarrassed if somebody did not get filled up or full and they didn't get enough food to feed them for what I charge for something.
Right,
so
right.
We're pretty adamant about that. But we've got some other unique items. I don't know if you've tried our
egg rolls.
Our egg rolls.
Oh my goodness. So, Allie and I, we about died the other because the samurai sauce is what really, the food obviously is fantastic, but the samurai sauce, that sets it off. And I told you about that fried mac and cheese I had down in Texas in college, and yeah, we had plenty of those, and it had like a sauce with it, and of course it's wonderful, but then you put the sauce with it, it is so good.
That samurai sauce, and I can't. I feel like I've never stopped making them.
Egg rolls, because you hand
we
do
hand roll all of them.
That's what I was thinking.
We've got some that are stuffed with brisket and mac and cheese, and some that are stuffed with pulled pork and coleslaw, and
I'm hungry.
And the sauce it's kind of sweet and spicy and everything in between.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's fantastic. And burger, I had a burger the other day because I have tried this and I've tried this. I just want to try a plain burger, and it was so good, and it was actually so big that I had to take it home and eat it for lunch the next day. Excellent. And that's, as I say, and that's a good thing because you want to have enough and fill people up, which I really appreciate. Tell us about that master, what is that big platter?
The Pitmaster platter.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, there are people that like to eat probably too much, like myself. And this is for those people, or if you have a friend, I recommend maybe sharing it with 2 or 3 friends. It's plenty of food. But I mean, you've seen the platters come out.
And they're
I mean,
huge.
some of these I have to carry for some of our girls. And it's loaded down with every kind of barbecue we offer, and you get 3 sides, and I mean, it's
rolls and everything.
I've yet to see anybody finish it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Oh, I bet. Be food for a week or
yeah.
2.
There's a lot of that goes home in to-go boxes.
Yes.
But I was going to get back to the burger. I'm proud of
Yeah.
that. One of my favorite things is
Yeah.
just kind of that old-fashioned, just not really greasy, but it's just got the right amount of flavor. And it's, I mean, we hand make basically everything we do. And we start out with a 12-ounce patty. I mean, it's 3/4 of a pound. Nobody does this.
Well, yeah.
And then you look at our burger prices, and it's basically the same as everybody else is charging for either a 1/4 pound or a 1/3 pound. So,
right.
Like I said, it goes back to that thing we believe in. We're going to feed our people. Like, if they were nice enough and believed in us to come in and try our product.
Yeah.
We're gonna prove that they made the right decision.
Yeah, that they made the good decision, because we have a lot of great choices here for restaurants, and so we're blessed to have that. But also great that we have owners that and managers that care that we get fed too, because that's important. It really is. So I guess the last thing that I've got is, why do you enjoy? You've been here for some time. How many years you think now?
In the area, probably 13 years now.
13 years? Okay. And so why do you enjoy being a business person here in Northwest Oklahoma?
Well, it's become fantastic. I'll just be honest. We didn't know a single person within 200 miles when and that's kind of been like, I'm a little bit of a risk taker.
Yes.
I believe in living life to the fullest. You just
stay around you for a second and you'd know that for sure, which I appreciate that.
But one of the neat things, we didn't know that would happen. We didn't know, and what it's become, we've developed some of the best relationships and friendships, and you find out how many, even though you didn't know anybody to begin with, how many like-minded people there are. Yeah. And you have, and with other business owners especially, you kind of have this common bond, be like, hey man, I got an idea what you're going through too right now. And it's tough at times.
Hold on. Yeah.
So, and you can also, use each other as a resource, and that's just a wonderful thing. And really the people out here, these are my kind of people. Everybody's hardworking. They're just good, just salt of the earth. And that, I think we fit in with that. And I think that's why it's been an easy transition for us. Yeah.
Well, that's really neat. We're happy that you're here. I know I am, especially for the good food, especially. And I guess the last thing is, we do know, and it's pretty public knowledge now, that the Shack is for sale. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, the Shack, or, it's my baby.
Yeah.
But, that's where it all started.
Yeah.
We basically turned something that was neat and some of the locals knew about, into just what it's become now. There's some places that have voted us like number 5 best mom and pop place to eat in the entire state of Oklahoma, and it's just out of this small building, and it's got a perfect drive-through. Like it's the perfect place to be. The only reason we put it up for sale is because it is a lot for me to do back and forth.
Yes. Because that's been a common question.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a lot to manage 2 places, and but at the same time, it even after opening the Steakhouse, it's still going so strong.
Oh, I know. Yes. It's always packed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or the drive-through. Right. There's always the blinker on. So
yeah, exactly. So we're willing to sell it, but we're also very okay if we don't.
Yeah.
And we have such a strong crew.
Yes.
That we can make that happen as well. Yeah. But it is for sale, and it is brand. It's everybody knows where it's at now.
Yeah. Yes.
It's really a great buy if you're looking for something turnkey. Yeah. In the food industry, that is the place.
With low overhead.
Absolutely. Yeah. And low overhead's kind of the name of the game.
Yeah. It is.
You can write. Everybody's a little bit worried about the oil and gas economy right now. Right. And I tell you what, low overhead is not a bad thing right now.
Not a bad thing at all. No, and I know I wanted to bring that up because there's quite a few people that ask about it, of course, why. And I think it's always good. There's always different reasons or different motivations for everything that we do. And so if we could just clone you 3 or 4 times, then I think it would be, it would be just fine. You could definitely do it.
I'd be okay with
that.
But
like you said, even if it doesn't sell to that specific person that, would take advantage of that low overhead, it's okay too. So
absolutely. We're
awesome.
going to be happy either way.
Yeah,
So.
awesome. And successful.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. I look forward to continued friendship and business with you as well.
Thanks for having me, Katie.